Welcome into PFF TV. I'm Cam Mellor, today joined by Sam Monson. And today we're talking the Los Angeles Chargers, a team that's been in the news a lot recently. Melvin Gordon, contract situation out there. Will he get an extension? Will he get a big deal? Will he play? Will he not? Will he be traded if he does get a contract? A lot about that. We're going to change it up, though. We're talking about the receivers and the options that Phillip Rivers has and in the waning stages of his career and how he's done a little bit. He does have maybe potentially one of the better combinations or duos in the league in Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. What do you like of Keenan Allen in 2019?
I think really this entire Chargers group of receivers is pretty stacked and across all the positions, whether it's the wide receivers with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, whether it's that backfield with Melvin Gordon, assuming they get him back, and Austin Ekeler, the tight end room with Hunter Henry. There's a lot of places for Phillip Rivers to go with the ball. I think Keenan Allen is one of the most underrated players in the league. He is a phenomenal route runner. He's one of the top few guys in terms of his releases off the line. He's not the most athletic wide receiver in the world, but his ability to set these guys up with quickness off the line is incredible, and just basic route running skills is among the top. I think whether you're looking at release off the line, whether you're looking at just general route running throughout the entirety of his routes, he's probably a top 5, top 3 route runner in all of football. And then you team him with a guy like Mike Williams, a much bigger body guy who can make some pretty spectacular catches. That's a pretty nice 1-2 punch.
Yeah, Allen was the guy that they continually schemed open to get him against those linebackers, undersized slot cornerbacks, and utilize his speed and first move off the line there. 59 receptions for a first down, plus his 7 touchdowns last year. Big numbers. Mike Williams is our contested catch guy, but Hunter Henry coming back, an injury. They had to bring back Antonio Gates. Hunter Henry in what would be a big step, a breakout year potentially for a guy that we pegged maybe as one of the better tight ends in the league this year?
Yeah, I mean, he was looking like a real breakout candidate before he went down for the season. So I think really it's just time to reset the clock and head into 2019 the way we thought we were going to be heading into 2018 with Hunter Henry on the precipice of being one of the best young tight ends in the league. We're now talking about guys like O.J. Howard in Tampa Bay. We're talking about George Kittle, obviously coming off the back of his breakout year. But Hunter Henry probably deserves to be in that conversation because he looked like he was heading there before he went down hurt.
Yeah, they're guys that can do it after the catch. They're guys that can do it over the middle. It's the new prototypical tight end, so to speak. So Melvin Gordon, though, we have to talk about him a little bit more. The contract and whether he gets it. If he does play for the Chargers, do they miss a lot of Melvin Gordon this year, or does Austin Ekeler and a guy like Justin Jackson, who proved little, or in his little time that he could do it as well, do they miss a lot with Melvin Gordon, or do we move on from Melvin Gordon?
Yeah, I think it's a difficult thing to articulate because Melvin Gordon is a fantastic player, and I think PFF grades have been higher on Melvin Gordon than the general perception of how good he is. But the thing is, we've already seen that he can miss time, and they don't really miss a beat. Austin Ekeler can come in and actually outperform him. They have players that can step in and replace what he brings, even though he's a good receiver as well. He's good in the right areas where value is. All of the data that we pull up from the PFF database and our data science guys in there, when they work through it all, the running back himself just isn't the thing that is generating the value. It's the offensive line, it's the blocking, it's the passing game opening up, removing guys from the box and opening up the running lanes. It's formations that take those guys out of the box and prevent there being heavy formations up front. And, as good as Melvin Gordon is, he's absolutely right to be trying to get himself all the money he can while, strike while the iron is hot. The Chargers shouldn't want any part of it because they've seen just how easy it is to replace these running backs. They should trade him away if they can find a willing trade partner and roll with the guys behind him on the depth chart. So, I think he is an important part of their passing game. He is an important part of that offense, but they'll replace it if they need to.
Yeah, you see Ekeler came in, he saw 6 less targets than Gordon, but had a significantly higher grade. So he was doing it on just almost the same amount of targets in the passing game alone, and they didn't miss a beat. They actually might have even skipped a beat and beat to a faster drum. So you mentioned the offensive line, though, too, and this is kind of where we'll close it. Phillip Rivers has had to get the ball out of his hand significantly faster, the 6th fastest time to throw. His offensive line, is that the scheme, or is that just the offensive line allowing pressure?
I mean, it's really the offensive line. I think we've got a great set of receivers with the Chargers. We've got a great quarterback, albeit towards the end of his career, and it might be undone by a complete inability to find offensive linemen consistently. If you look, this offensive line really for the last decade has been a bottom 5, bottom 3rd unit in the NFL. they're going to return one starter, Russell Okung, who had a PFF grade last season higher than 61.5. Everybody else is below that point. Dan Feeney at left guard is vying to be one of the worst guards in all of football. You have to assume that Forrest Lamp at some point is going to get on the field, if just because, like, how could it be worse than Dan Feeney at this stage? So you're talking one offensive line out of 5 that's even playing at a sort of viable level at the NFL, and at the NFL level. Phillip Rivers is dealing with one of the worst offensive lines in the game year after year after year. Sometimes he's able to play above that level and drag everything else up around him, and sometimes he's not. So, I mean, we're really going to see this year how good that offensive line is. It's probably going to be what determines how good this offense can be.
And we do love Lamp here at PFF.
Yeah.
You notice it, though. Good thing Phillip Rivers does have this talented receiving core and receiving cast of characters to get the ball to. So for more on the Chargers 2019 season, the projections, and just more general content, subscribe to PFF's YouTube channel below. Check out the site at pff.com. For Sam Monson, I'm Cam Mellor. We'll see you again.